So this morning, I woke up, got on the good old X or Twitter, whatever you prefer to call it, and was met with some unfortunate news that KingCobraJFS, aka Josh Saunders, has passed away. It seemed at first a lot of people were throwing conspiracy theories out there. There were a ton of different things I saw, something about Jessica Boyle sending him some poisonous seeds or something along those lines. Something about him eating 2-day-old Wendy's that could have caused it. But unfortunately, we won't know until a coroner report comes out, an autopsy report if you will. But Josh's dad has made a video replying to all of the rumors, addressing it and letting us know what went down. So we're going to jump into that, we're going to cover it. This video will not be monetized, so if you see any ads on this, definitely direct some shade towards YouTube. This will be a respectful rest in peace to Josh Saunders. My condolences go out to his father and their family, and as unfortunate as this is, let's get right into it.
I'm Josh's dad, and there's a lot of rumors going around, so I wanted to make a video for Josh. I went to Josh's house yesterday to take him to the doctor, and when I got there, he was sleeping. I tried to wake him up. He was not responsive or breathing. I realized that his lips were blue, and I tried to revive him, but he was already dead. I got on today to delete all of his social media because fuck you is how I'm feeling, but I realized that would not be fair to his fans. It's certainly nothing he would want. As you all know, Josh was harassed and bullied terribly his whole life. I mean, from the time he was 3, it was just nonstop. It's like he had a neon sign that said, "Please pick on me." And for some reason, so many people on this earth felt that picking on him was okay. That just because it's him, it made it all right. And that he didn't matter. I want to thank all his fans because you made him feel like he mattered. You made him feel very special, and he lived for you guys every day. Josh struggled a lot with depression and was extremely suicidal most of his life, and you guys helped more than you could ever know. Those of you who know Josh, you know how kind he was. Anybody who came to visit him in person can testify that he was such a beautiful, beautiful soul. He would help anybody. He would invite anybody in to have a beer. He would treat everybody like they were a family. He was kind, and he was especially kind with elderly people and animals and all of insects. God, we weren't even allowed to kill insects. We had to save them. He was just a good soul, and if you can, raise a glass today for Josh. It doesn't have to be alcohol, especially given these circumstances. We don't know how he died. He died in his sleep. There's going to be an autopsy, and they think it's probably something like his appendix or liver. So if you can today, raise a glass for Josh. I don't know if it would be appropriate to do alcohol, but that's what Josh would do. He struggled a lot after he lost his best friend, Walt, and after Ozzy died. He's just really, really struggling, and he started drinking so much. But raise a glass to him today sometime. You can go one better and make it a combo. Put two things together that no one in their right mind would want to drink. That's what Josh would do. Please do not send me any private messages. I won't read them. I will simply block. If you have any positive things you'd like to say or comments or memories you'd like to share about Josh, please do it here on his page. And please respect my family's privacy. All hail Ozzy. Hail Satan. Fuck suicide. Fuck sickos. Long live Joshua Faye Saunders, JFS. I'll take King Cobra. I love you, man. I'm gonna miss you so much.
It's definitely a sad day in the lolcow history books where we lose KingCobraJFS before many of the other ones that we probably would have preferred to have seen in this position. As sad as it is, I don't think many of us are surprised with the lifestyle he was leading. It was only a matter of time, and it was definitely going to be expedited with how heavy he was ramping up those drink combos. But you can't help but feel empathetic for his family, his father here, seeing the true emotion and absolute sadness in his face. There's a little bit of humanity left in Uncle Swampy D, especially after, covering all these lolcows and these absolute deplorable individuals. And while Josh definitely had some things we could criticize, I don't think he was nearly as problematic as a lot of the other ones we've covered, and I really think we were just kind of low-key watching a guy slowly drink himself to death. His dad letting us know that he died in his sleep is somewhat assuring though. At least he didn't have to suffer. I think a lot of the details that were shared here are nice to know for the people who did enjoy watching Cobra, and it's definitely unfortunate to hear and see all of the conjecture around this. I really don't think Jessica Boyle had much of anything to do with this. I really don't think a rogue Wendy's bag had anything to do with this either. I do think this is just a collective buildup of many things that unfortunately weren't taken care of the way they should have, and unfortunately, left to his own devices, this is where it all came. As I said, definitely much love and respect to his family. I hope all of you do the same. We'll have to wait for some sort of coroner report to know what's going on here fully, to know what actually caused this, but as his dad said, it's likely a liver or appendix issue, and those are things that will definitely be very fatal if not taken care of, and especially with King Cobra drinking to the excess that he was for so long, I don't think that helped him any.
What kind of mushroom's always talking smack? A shit talkie.
And with that, we're gonna get past the sad part of this video, and for one last time, I will do a full retrospective of King Cobra, so don't worry, a series will be coming. For one last time, let's go through these drinks, let's go through some of these combos, and let's send off our boy Josh on one last sick one. Let's check out the last video he would put up 4 days ago. He's making a screwdriver, a custom one of course, and of course this is his first meal of the day, a liquid breakfast as he says, and he tells us a joke. So let's get into it.
What's up, YouTube? So you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a screwdriver. We're going to need some vodka. My favorite cheap vodka is Nikolai because the cap is black. As far as cheap vodka goes, this stuff is pretty fucking smooth. Not a sponsor. Although if you fuck with Potters or Fleischmann's, that's your choice. Let's pour a little extra for Ozzy. There we go. A little extra for the Oz man. Now to make a screwdriver, you need vodka and you need orange juice. I, as a kid, grew up drinking Tampico, and Tampico came out with this mango orange tangerine flavor. This stuff is delicious. Anyone else grew up in the 90s drinking Tampico? Tampico Mon. Alright, let's pour some of that in there gently now. Liquid breakfast. You want to hear a shitty joke? What kind of mushroom's always talking smack? A shit talkie.
Honestly, it's humorous to see that he likes this particular vodka just because the branding has a black cap. Gotta love the logic behind Cobra when it comes to picking out vodkas. And I mean, for the most part, you don't really need to spend much money to get a decent vodka. A lot of that stuff is gimmicking and marketing anyway, so if you're out there running around with Belvedere or Grey Goose, I'm gonna look at you sideways, because you could have got the same thing for a goddamn $4. Tampico is just so sweet, I don't know, but that's very on brand for King Cobra here. I had Tampico when I was a kid, and even then I was like, damn dude, this is an even sweeter Sunny D. And that's hard to beat because that's just all sugar water, baby. Anyways, let's jump into one of his last food hacks here because it gets worse, obviously. Now, the drinks could definitely be better, but they could be much, much worse. And it definitely only gets more depraved when you go down that rabbit hole.
So I took 2 slices of sweetheart bread, opened them up onto a plate, and I piled it thick with some of this delicious salami. Let me just set this sandwich down for a second. This salami, it's the Albertsons. Not sure how you pronounce that. Margarita. Before putting it in the microwave, I piled the salami with some of this triple cheddar cheese action, and I microwaved it until the cheese got all melted on top of that salami. And then I took a cup of Little Caesars jalapeno cheddar sauce and put it on top of the melted cheese and on top of the top bun, and I sandwiched it together. Does that just look unhealthy or what?
Something I'll say a million times is you couldn't pay me to eat any of these things that Josh has ever made, because what do you mean you took some Little Caesars pizza sauce, put it on top of the... I don't know, brother. I'm sure it tastes alright, at least good enough for Josh, but for me, I might have to hold off and not partake this time around. Sad times here. Definitely gonna never feel the same without him around. Who's gonna make us these drink combos and food hacks now? Before we end out this video, again, I do want to send my condolences to Josh, his family, his loved ones, and all the people who enjoyed his videos. Josh may not have had the best terms in life. Definitely got handed the short end of the stick, if you will. Was bullied a lot from what I understand, and definitely had some issues he was dealing with, especially when it came to his alcohol issues. It's sad to see that more people would have rather gotten content out of him getting, smashed and raging around than helping him get past that. But this isn't anybody's fault at the end of the day. I've seen a bunch of comments, a bunch of people saying, I bet reaction channels feel bad now. And honestly, if anybody should feel bad, it should just be trolls and people who actually went out of their way to cause him harm. At the end of the day, Josh definitely enjoyed YouTube, definitely loved what he was doing, and at the very least felt some sort of worth and importance within the content he was making, and I can respect that. And I can definitely take my hat off to that. Do I think Cobra was a perfect human being? From the little bit of deep dive I've done on him, he definitely made some mistakes in life. But we all do. But I don't think he's nearly as bad as maybe some other people who, abuse their grandma, abuse their loved ones, go after kitties, R-word blind boys and such, right? So at the end of the day, we can be rest assured knowing that Ozzy Osbourne's biggest fan is now up there with him, Puff's got his homeboy back, and hopefully, at the end of the day, Josh rests in peace, his family finds closure, and we can forever enjoy his very long catalog here. He's got 2 channels with thousands of videos on them of all the work that he created. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry that it had to be a somber video here. Again, this video is not going to be monetized, so I'm sure YouTube will probably suppress it a bit, but that's okay. This is all about showing respects to Josh, his family, and to the legacy he has left behind for us all to enjoy. See you guys soon.